Alright guys, welcome to a new video. This is David. Today I'm going to talk about Michael Myers versus Jason Voorhees. Now, I'm going to go pretty in depth about this one. People are always saying like, oh, these two should fight. And I do think that too, but I think we should go in depth about this because there's different Michaels, there's different Jasons, and you can't just put like Part 7 Jason against Part 1 Michael, like the original Michael or anything like that. So, let's get into it. Alright, so I have 3 different versions of Michael and 3 different versions of Jason. This video is going to be basically round 1 because I'm putting human Jason against human Michael. Now this is whenever they first start off in their early movies, before they had all those superhuman powers and stuff. Yeah, okay, so with Jason, he's like, they like to call him Human Jason, you know, but I mean, how human is he? I mean, he came back to life to get revenge for his mom. He saw her die somehow. So that, I never understood that. But either way, I'm still going to call him Human Jason just to have a name for him. Human Jason is the Jason from Friday the 13th Part 2, 3, and 4. And he dies in Part 4, the final chapter. Now he's going to go against Michael from Part 1 and Part 2. Human Michael, you know. And he dies in Part 2. Like, that was supposed to be his death. Now this is a fair fight. This is pretty much them, you know, human versions of themselves. And this will be round 1, which is this video. Now let's talk about their heights and their height differences. Now, Jason, in Part 2, 3, and 4, he's played by 3 different people. They're all different guys in these movies. But they're all pretty damn tall. I looked up their heights, actually, the actors, so we know who we're dealing with here. In Part 2, he is 6'1". In Part 3, he's 6'4". And in Part 4, the final chapter, he's 6'4". So, he's like an average of 6'3", I guess. Yeah, so Jason is like roughly around 6'3". And then Michael, in Part 1, I think Nick Castle was 5'10". And then in Part 2, Dick Warlock is like 5'9". So that's their heights in the movies. 5'9" and 5'10" is not really that different. But I'm going to give Michael, I'm going to give him 5'10", just to raise his chances a little bit. Yeah, so I found this picture, and I think it's from 85 or 81. I think it's from 85. And this pretty much shows like an accurate depiction of what the Michael and the Freddy that I'm talking about. I mean, the Michael and Jason I'm talking about. See, you could tell Michael is noticeably shorter than this Jason. I think this is the Jason from Part 3. And so you can see how they look compared to each other. This is the fight that we're talking about in this video. You have to look at this picture and imagine them fighting and think about their feats of strength. So this photo shoot, whatever they did here, it's a good thing we have this so we could kind of compare these two in a picture of them. Jason's a good amount taller than this Michael, so he does have the height advantage. And then, okay, now let's talk about Jason's feats. Feats of strength. I mean, this is like the most impressive stuff that I saw them do in these movies. He didn't really have that much feats in Part 2, I don't think. In Part 3, he threw a grown man through a window in one of the cabins. He survived an axe to the head in Part 3, cutting him right here. Straight through his head. He survived being hanged at the barn. He also squeezed this guy's head. His eye popped out. So we know he's strong. And in part 4, he got a TV smashed on his head. It knocked him out for a little bit, but then he did get back up a few minutes later. He got his hand cut, like right here down the middle, and he was okay. He like rushes through a door, the main door. So that is pretty impressive that he was able to smash through that door, and he was coming at like kind of a lot of speed. Some other notes I wrote down is that this Jason runs a lot. I don't know why people like to say that Jason doesn't run and he just walks. That is not true. The human Jason does run a lot. Like in part 2, when he has the sack on his head, you see him running in a lot of shots. Part 3, he runs a lot, especially at that last chase when he's chasing that girl at the end of the movie. And part 4, he's just like really quick. Not that much running, but you know he can run if he wanted to. Now let's talk about Michael's feats. Now this Michael has a lot of feats of strength. Let's see. Part 1, he survives 6 gunshots to the body, and he fell like 2 stories. He got up. And then in part 2, when he drowns that lady in the hospital of that really hot water, his hand goes down into the water while he's drowning her, and like he's just drowning her, like he doesn't make a sound like he's hurt or anything. He comes back out and his hands are all burned and it didn't seem to affect him.
Don't be that way.
Crazy feats. Then one part where he kills that nurse, where he stabs her from behind, he has like this little knife, and then like he raises up this lady, and she's like literally probably like as tall as him, and he's able to raise her up with one arm. He survives being shot in both eyes, and he's just like, he's blinded and he's like still swinging everywhere. And then, oh yeah, he walked through the glass of that door in the hospital, and it being the main hospital door, and he was like walking like normal, like not even like high speed. He's just walking like totally slowly, and he's able to break through that door. So I don't think those glass doors of the hospital should be that easy for like any random guy to like just break right through it. I mean, I think they're made to be like really safe. He shouldn't have been able to do that, but that just shows how strong he is. And I think that's all his like most notable feats of strength. So yeah, man, he's pretty damn strong. And then side notes is this Michael, he only walks. Michael's the one who's slow, especially in part two. He's so slow. Real quick, let me talk about their deaths. So this Jason, I mean, as tough as he is, his death was kind of not that great. It was kind of weak, made him look kind of weak. So the way he dies is he gets a machete to the head, and when he falls, it goes like more through his head, and then Tommy Jarvis like beats him up, or he I think he uses the machete to keep cutting him up. Not an impressive death. I mean, it's kind of dumb to see this guy die like that. So that doesn't look good for Jason. And then the way this Michael dies, I mean, he gets shot in the eyes. He's still alive, so he's still swinging his knife around, trying to kill Jamie Lee Curtis and Dr. Loomis. But then Dr. Loomis causes that explosion, and he survives the explosion, and then his whole body's on fire, and then he's just walking down the hall, and he's still on fire. But he does eventually die like that, and he finally falls. He eventually falls, and that is a pretty impressive death for this guy. This guy is just tough as they come. So yeah, if this Michael and this Jason are gonna fight, we're gonna notice an obvious height difference. You know, Michael's only like a 5'10" guy. Jason's well over 6 feet, coming in at 6'3". He's noticeably tall. And we're gonna also notice when they fight, Michael's like really slow. This Jason's more fast. He doesn't mind running if he has to. I guess that's just the kind of guy Michael is. He's just like a really slow guy, but I mean, he is pretty strong too. So I think this match is going to be pretty damn close when they are fighting. If Michael can up his speed and be more like, I mean, he's already tough, but what this guy needs is he needs a speed boost. And if he had like a speed boost, I think he might actually win this one. Because it's not impossible for a 5'10" guy to beat a 6'3" guy, especially if the 5'10" guy knows how to fight. And if he's just really strong, which this Michael Myers is really strong. Another way he could possibly beat Jason is if Jason's like lacking, or maybe Jason like hits him a lot of times, and maybe Jason thinks he's dead, and without making sure, then Michael will probably come back and be able to come up with a plan. But what I think is going to go down is Jason's going to be too fast, and he's not really going to leave enough time for Michael to do something. But Jason needs to make sure that Michael is dead, and he really needs to make sure that he kills him, because if he doesn't, then Michael's just gonna come back. You see, the thing about Michael Myers in these movies is that he's very durable. His durability is really high. He has a high ass pain tolerance. Whenever he does get hurt, you won't hear a word out of his mouth, or you won't hear a sound out of his mouth. He's like really like, he doesn't care that he's in pain. Like, it's things like this should hurt him, but he really doesn't show it. He doesn't grunt. He just has a high ass pain tolerance, and that's one thing to notice about this Michael Myers. So yeah, this Jason's gonna probably rush Michael, and he's not gonna leave enough open spots for Michael to attack him. But if somehow Michael is able to sneak in an attack, or somehow find an opening, and if he hurts Jason, then he might actually get him here, because Jason, we know that he feels pain a little bit more than this Michael. I mean, you can see in some scenes of like part 3, where that girl at the end is like hurting him. I think she stabs him in the knee or the leg or something, and you hear him grunt. He goes, "Oh." And he's getting hurt. So we do know he has a less tolerance for pain. But some of his feats are a little bit more impressive than Michael, because he was able to throw this full-grown man, this rather a large man, through a window. And this Michael, we never really saw that. I mean, we saw him pick up that lady with the knife with one arm, but I mean, she was way smaller than that guy that Jason threw, and he didn't even throw her. He just lifted her up a little bit. So yeah, I think Jason's overall a little bit stronger, even though he feels pain a little bit more. He is still a little bit stronger, and he is faster. So I think he's gonna win this fight maybe 7 times out of 10. 3 times out of 10, Michael probably would win if he gets lucky enough to attack him, and then keep up that momentum. And if he keeps up that momentum, he'll be able to stop Jason. But yeah, I think 7 out of 10 times Jason's gonna be winning this. So I'm gonna give this round straight up to Jason. So yeah, that about wraps it up for Michael versus Jason, round 1. Now it is gonna get a little more interesting in round 2. But yeah, this was round 1, which is their human versions of themselves, and the next video will be round 2, which is the zombie Jason and the cult Michael Myers. You know, whenever he was in that the Thorn cult or whatever the hell. So thank you for watching this video. See you next time.